There's something haunting about twins. Maybe it's the idea of two people sharing the same DNA, or perhaps it's the eerie stories that seem to follow them through history. From twins who spoke a secret language only they understood, to others who mirrored each other's lives without ever meeting. Some of these tales blur the line between science and the supernatural. Get ready for a chilling journey into the strangest twin stories in history. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more spine-tingling tales. 1. The Silent Twins, June and Jennifer Gibbons. June and Jennifer Gibbons were born in Barbados but raised in Wales, where their strange behavior quickly caught attention. Refusing to speak to anyone else, they communicated in a secret language known only to them. Teachers, psychologists, and even family couldn't break through their eerie silence. As they grew older, their bond became darker. They isolated themselves completely and began writing disturbing stories. Eventually, the twins engaged in arson and petty crimes, leading to their confinement in Broadmoor, a high-security psychiatric hospital. Their behavior remained synchronized. Even their movements and expressions mirrored each other. But the most chilling part came years later when Jennifer suddenly died of acute myocarditis, a rare inflammation of the heart with no warning signs. June's response was haunting. "Now I am free." Some believe Jennifer chose to die so June could live a normal life. Since then, June has integrated into society, but the mystery of their connection remains one of the strangest cases in psychological history. 2. The Pollock Twins. In 1957, two young sisters, Joanna and Jacqueline Pollock, died tragically in a car accident in England. A year later, their parents welcomed twin girls, Gillian and Jennifer. As the twins grew older, bizarre events began to unfold. They started asking for toys that had belonged to their deceased sisters, without ever being told those toys existed. They pointed out landmarks and places their dead siblings had known, though the twins had never been there before. Even more unsettling, Jennifer had birthmarks matching Jacqueline's, while Gillian mirrored Joanna's features and behaviors. The twins' personalities aligned with the older sisters so precisely that their parents began to believe in reincarnation. As the girls aged, the eerie memories faded, leaving behind only questions. Paranormal enthusiasts cite this as evidence of past lives, while skeptics blame parental influence or coincidence. But no one can fully explain how these young twins knew such impossible details about lives they never lived. 3. The Jim Twins. Jim Lewis and Jim Springer were separated at birth in Ohio and adopted by different families. They grew up unaware of each other's existence until they were reunited at age 39. That's when the real mystery began. Both were named Jim. Both had childhood dogs named Toy. Each married women named Linda, divorced, then remarried women named Betty. Both had sons named James Allen. Even stranger, they drove the same model car, smoked the same brand of cigarettes, and worked in similar law enforcement jobs. Psychologists were stunned. Could nature really shape us this precisely? The Jim twins were later studied at length by scientists exploring genetics and behavioral similarities in twins. While their story might sound like fiction, every detail checks out. Their lives unfolded in near-perfect parallel despite being raised apart. A bizarre reminder of how little we truly understand about genetics, fate, and human connection. 4. Ursula and Sabina Eriksson, the Highway Madness. In 2008, identical twins Ursula and Sabina Eriksson caused one of the strangest public incidents in British history. It began on the M6 motorway, where the women were spotted walking directly into high-speed traffic. Ursula was struck and seriously injured, while Sabina was knocked unconscious, yet somehow survived with minimal damage. Just hours later, Sabina was released from custody and wandered into a small town, where she was taken in by a kind man named Glenn Hollinshead. The next day, without warning, Sabina stabbed Glenn to death and fled. She jumped off a bridge during her escape attempt, but survived again. The media labeled it a case of shared psychosis, where one twin's delusions infect the other. Psychiatrists struggled to explain their behavior. Some cited rare psychiatric disorders, others blamed substance use, but no explanation fully accounted for the twins' synchronized madness. The case remains one of the most unnerving displays of twin telepathy, or shared insanity, ever seen. 5. The Toads Twins. A Dance with Death. Monique and Jocelyn Toads were identical twins from Australia with an uncanny connection and a love for ballet. As young girls, They moved with perfect synchronicity, dancing as if one soul inhabited two bodies. But as they grew older, their bond turned obsessive. They dressed identically, spoke in unison, and rarely interacted with others. Monique once claimed she could feel Jocelyn's pain, even from miles away. In 2002, their strange story took a tragic turn. Monique died in a freak accident while hiking, and Jocelyn reportedly collapsed at the exact same moment, despite being nowhere near the scene. She was inconsolable and insisted part of her had died too. Many believe their connection ran so deep that Monique's death quite literally broke Jocelyn's spirit, and possibly her mind. 6. Jack and Oscar, Nazi versus Jew. Jack Yufei and Oscar Storr were identical twins separated at infancy. Jack was raised Jewish in Trinidad, while Oscar grew up in Germany under Nazi ideology. When they reunited decades later as part of a twin study by psychologist Thomas Bouchard, the similarities were uncanny: identical mannerisms, speech patterns, favorite brands, and even shared quirks like flushing the toilet before using it. Yet their core beliefs clashed deeply. Oscar reportedly refused to speak about his Nazi past, and Jack struggled with the irony of sharing so much with someone raised to hate his identity. Their story is a chilling testament to the power of nature over nurture, and how deeply genetics can override even the most divergent upbringings. 7. The Enfield Poltergeist and the Twin Girls. In the late 1970s, a council house in Enfield, North London, became the center of one of the most famous alleged hauntings in history. Much of the paranormal activity, moving furniture, knocking sounds, and eerie voices, was centered around two sisters, Janet and Margaret Hodgson, who were often mistaken for twins due to their closeness in age and striking resemblance. Some researchers theorize that the intense bond between the girls, especially if they were twins, could have amplified or even manifested the strange occurrences. Though skeptics cry hoax, others remain convinced something supernatural took place. The Enfield case still haunts paranormal investigators to this day. 8. The Winklevoss twins and the Facebook feud. Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss are not your typical creepy twin tale, but their saga with Mark Zuckerberg over the creation of Facebook carries a dark undertone. These Ivy League rowers and mirror image tech entrepreneurs sued Zuckerberg, claiming he stole their idea for the social platform. With their eerily identical mannerisms and cold, composed demeanor, the twins almost came across like corporate androids in a high-stakes sci-fi drama. Their stoic expressions and synchronized legal strategy added to the unsettling nature of their public appearances. The twin dynamic made their betrayal feel all the more personal, almost like being double-crossed by your own reflection. 9. Terry and Linda Jameson, the Psychic Twins. Terry and Linda Jameson, identical twins from California, claim to share not only thoughts, but visions. Known as the Psychic Twins, they gained media attention for eerily accurate predictions, including the 9/11 attacks. But what truly stuns people is their personal telepathic bond. They report experiencing shared dreams, finishing each other's sentences, and even feeling the other's injuries. In one instance, Linda collapsed from stomach pain at the exact moment Terry underwent emergency surgery miles away. Skeptics doubt their psychic claims, but their twin telepathy has been documented in multiple studies and interviews. Real or not, their connection is undeniably unsettling. 10. Chang and Eng Bunker, the original Siamese twins. Chang and Eng Bunker were born in Siam, modern-day Thailand, in 1811 and became famous worldwide as the original Siamese twins. Conjoined at the sternum, they toured with circuses before settling in North Carolina, where they married two sisters and fathered a total of 21 children. Despite occasional tension between the couples, the twins lived surprisingly ordinary lives. That is, until one day in 1874, when Chang died in his sleep, and Eng passed away just hours later, despite no immediate medical cause. Their preserved bodies are still displayed at a museum in Philadelphia, serving as both a medical curiosity and a haunting reminder of their inseparable bond. Have you heard of any spooky twin stories we missed? Drop them in the comments. We'd love to hear them. And if you enjoyed this unsettling ride, be sure to like the video, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more dark tales that dig beneath the surface.